Hey everyone, welcome to another episode. Just wanted to give you a market update starting with Bitcoin and Ethereum, XLM and XRP. So let's get right into it. Um, I think I made an update about a couple of days ago, sometime last week. Did mention that 63,000 was a very important level to break above. We finally did that, as you can see. We finally broke above, and now we're just kind of consolidating here, possibly for another leg higher. Zooming in on the 4 hourly, just wanted to show you exactly how that kind of worked out. We just kind of broke through. There's really nothing to it. So on the 4 hours, you can see we had trouble here, here, and here. So judging by that level, you could see how it was important for the market to kind of break through. We also possibly could resume. We could retest that level at some point just to confirm, and that level would be somewhere in between, 64,000 to 63,000, somewhere along these lines here. But right now we're just right into this resistance of 66. We came back down to retest, and it looks like we're resuming higher. But again, this is only the 4 hourly. I'd like to see, another candle or two of daily closures above it. Right? We did close above the red 2 days in a row. Well, today, excuse me. Yesterday, 2 days, right? We saw 2 days here, and then another one, possibly above this level. Sorry, drinking some water. So yeah, I have this black line here just to show that that was the wick, the all-time high, the last all-time high, which was back in the 20th of October of like 60, was it 67? Yeah, 67,000. So we just needed to stay above here. As you can see, we closed a little below it, and then we just kind of blew right above it and stayed and held. So that shows to me that the bulls as of right now, are in control. And that's it for Bitcoin, right? So possible retest areas could be here. Excuse me. Possible retest areas once we kind of top off. I'm not sure where will that be. I'm hearing 70 to 73, $74,000. We'll see, right? Again, we don't like to make price predictions here, but we'll see. I mean, we could have the retest and then resumption, but I think we already did that, right? So we just kind of see where the market takes us. There's really nothing above. Sky's the limit. Or we can have another retest of this area here and then resume higher. Again, just possible scenarios, just so that way, we're not taken by surprise in the market. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to flip this to green, right? And for people who are new to the channel, these are my weekly levels of support. Green is support, yellow is indecisive, and I'll show you exactly what that means in the other charts. And then red is weekly resistance. And I always have trouble trying to flip this, trying to change this color. All right, I'll work on that. I'll work on that later. So it's not working for me right now. But I will change this to yellow, right? Because it was resistance, right? So see, it was resistance before. Let's just go back. It was resistance here, right? And I think, let's check the weekly. Oh, wait, no, there was just resistance there. So there you go. So I guess that was just weekly resistance. So that's why I have it red. Resistance, we broke through, we came down, and then we're resuming higher, right? I like to see that kind of movement to show that the bulls are in control. So there you have it. So now what I'm doing now, since that's we kind of broke above it and then retested that support, we're just going to flip that to yellow. Here we go. I got it on that one. I didn't get it on the other one. Okay, so that's what I have for Bitcoin. Let me just delete all this messy stuff. Right. So this is what we're just concentrating on right here. This level right here, 66,000 to 67,000 more or less. But that's it for Bitcoin. Moving on to Ethereum. Really not much to say on Ethereum. It's just up and to the right, very bullish. And we're just gonna be hopefully resuming higher. Yeah, and there's no market activity above, so we're gonna see exactly where this stops, where we kind of top off. We could come back down for a retest around 43, 4,400, and then resuming higher. Let me get my little paintbrush. We can see something like this, and then resuming higher. So that's where I see for Ethereum. Again, green candles. There's a lot of weekly green candles, right? So at some point we should be seeing some red, like we have over here. We had green candle, green. We had this is one. It was not much bigger. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So about 6 weekly candles in a row. Oh, excuse me, not in a row, but just like consecutively almost, right? We just have a lot of green candles here. So we just need to be a little cautious that there could possibly be some retest coming soon. And we're just going to be waiting for that. But for now, as Bitcoin consolidates, all the altcoins will start gaining. They'll start gaining in Satoshi price and their Bitcoin price, right? Priced in Satoshis. And then as Bitcoin starts resuming higher, then the USD price will start catching up. So that's what I have for Ethereum. And let's go over to XLM. XLM, as I mentioned before, we did have this. This clearly was consolidation and resistance. We were having trouble. We came back down to that local area of interest, and now we're resuming. We're resuming higher. I didn't mention that this was at a very crucial level for us to break from like 37 cents to 39 cents. We broke through. We came back down for the retest, and now we're resuming higher. So let's zoom in on the 8 hour and see how exactly what that looks like. We checked in on the weekly support here, right? Then again, that's the resistance, but now we're just kind of attacking it again. Came back down to that local area of interest that I like to show in the markets. So it's not necessarily the weekly, but just sort of what the market pays attention to. Again, for the new viewers here, and the reason and how I show that is, zooming on the 8 or the daily, you could see that. Let's see what the daily. The daily, you could see we had some market interactions here, right? So not necessarily weekly levels, but we did have some trouble, trying to break up. We had a little bit of resistance here, and now we just kind of flipped that to support, right? So that was signal for me to say, hey, listen, okay, maybe this is a good opportunity to kind of long, take a nice high risk, and that kind of worked out. So here I started here. Now we're breaking through. We broke above weekly resistance. We came back down for the retest, and now we're kind of resuming higher. So I always like to see a break first coming. A lot of people probably jumped in. They were just like FOMOing in, but I like to just wait for the market to kind of do its thing. We came back down, and then now we're just resuming higher. And it looks like we have a little support here. I mean, this is on the 8 hours, so daily. I mean, that's clean, right? We came back for a strong retest, and now we're going back higher. And now the targets for me would be, these are like my next 3 targets that I'm looking at. Again, from a macro point of view, a position trader point of view, it takes weeks, maybe a month for this trade to kind of work out, but I'm kind of letting it do its thing, right? I'm a set it and forget it kind of person. So now, we're kind of just poking through 41 to 44 cents. Next one would be the 49 to 51 cents, and then we have 56 to 58. So that's what I see here. These are my next levels: consolidation, leg higher, consolidation, and a leg higher. So that's what I like to see for the next couple of weeks, a days, couple of weeks. But for now, everything's looking healthy. It looks good, and we're just moving along with the market, right? Bullish momentum. So now what I'm going to do here is that since this was yellow, right? It was red before because it was resistance. So now we're going to flip this to red. Oh, excuse me, green. I'm going to flip that to green. So you see why I'm flipping that to green, and now see how that's resistance, but we're kind of poking through now. The market's interacting with it now, so we're going to flip that to yellow for indecisive. So as we're taking the stairs up to each level, I'll be flipping the color, so that way it's easier for me and of course my viewers. It's easier for you guys to kind of come along and walk along with me on this with this market, because I just feel like using these colors is just a lot. It's just aesthetically, it's just easier to kind of visualize the market, right, and where it could go. And again, blue, it's just an local area of interest. To me, that's just, I feel, for me, markets interacted with that kind of area, right? So you see how it kind of interacted here. Let me just pull out the brush. Kind of interaction here, right? All along here, then it used it as support, then it resumed higher, so it kind of just came back down and then retested again, and then now resuming higher. So I use a combination of the weekly and local area of interest for me in order, to kind of gauge where the market could possibly go. So that's it for XLM. But that 37 to 39 cents was really important for me in order for the market to kind of start, in order for XLM to start really, really moving and gaining bullish momentum, 37, 39. So we should be seeing some nice upward movement within the next couple of days, couple of weeks. XRP. Okay, so for XRP, this is the daily perfect. So again, for me, I did mention that the 16 cents, right? The $1.16 was really an important area of interest for us to break. Yeah, it was above the weekly level that was highlighted in yellow, and yeah, but it was just kind of just bouncing around in between, right? For me, we just needed to break this area, and we did, right? We broke through, we came back down for retest, even coming down to the area of interest right here, this local area, and then now we're just resuming higher. That was signal for me, right, to enter a position, and now we're seeing that even this this local area of interest is being paid attention to. It was resistance, then it was a temporary support, and then now resistance. Now we see that for the past, 2 days, we're seeing that it's holding for now. So the market is paying attention to this level. So this has some kind of validity. But all we needed to do is break that $1.16. We broke, came back down for a retest. Now we're resuming higher. The next levels, again, weekly levels for me, it's $1.30, $1.34, which we just kind of tapped into. Next one is $1.40, $1.45, $1.50 to 156. And then there's some levels up there, but we're not going to be paying attention to that. We're just going to move along as the market comes to us, right? We don't want to rush into things, but just wanted to give you guys a guide as to what I see. So I'm just going to faint this out again, since we already went over that. I like to keep the levels just in case. Market can always come back down to retest it at some point. So I kind of like just faint it out a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to change this to green, right? Because now we're a lot higher. And now we're going to change this to yellow. I'm going to change this to yellow. Perfect. So that's what I have for XRP. So again, Bitcoin, looking good. Ethereum, we're looking good. XLM, we're looking bullish. We're looking good. Let's see what the weekly brings us, right? So, the weekly looks really good. For me, I feel like we could be seeing just a nice ride up, because you see all this space right here. It was just one straight weekly candle down. So, I could, I can make the argument that we'll see one nice, not one weekly candle, but we'll see some consolidation right back up to these levels, right? So that's why these levels stand out to me, right? We have here for the 50 cents, we have here 56 cents, and then we have the top around 70 cents. But all in all, the market looks good on the weekly time frame for XLM. But that level was really, really important. And you can see why 37 to 39 cents was really important. That level we've been having trouble, breaking above and staying above since May, right? So, we had a support here, right, all along these weeks. And then, right, as soon as we broke below, we had trouble, we broke down, and then we broke down again, and then now we're finally breaking through. So that was big, big, heavy, heavy resistance for me. Now that we're above it, we're going to see some nice bullish momentum. Again, making that assumption that, everything stays the same, and that the Federal Reserve and all the central banks around are still debasing the currency. So, so that's what I have for here. And then, again, weekly levels. Let's go over the weekly level for XRP. You can see why this level is really important to break above. We have 130 to 135. Really, 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 really hard time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About 5 weeks that we were having trouble to break above and stay above. We got that here. So I would like to see a weekly candle closure in this area, preferably above 130. Okay, that's what I like to see. If a candle closes below it, then we might have some retest levels to look at. But right now, as the weekly looks, above 130 is really important. So that's what I have on the weekly time frame. I mean, for Ethereum, it's really not much. Again, nothing above it. So we'll see where it tops off, and then of course we'll look for some retest levels. And yeah, that's the is that a weekly? Yeah, weekly looks clean for Bitcoin, right? We came, did some major consolidation here, right, in between two weekly levels, and then we just kind of busted right through. So again, for Bitcoin, we'll see where it tops off, and then we could possibly see some retest levels. But thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if any of the content resonated with you, and always open for comments and constructive criticism on my videos. But again, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.